Harold Dow's report. We're going to be talking about some of the economic aspects to this current situation in a few moments. But first, let me remind us all that events of the last few days have already changed so much for so many. Life as we know it may never be quite the same. With that thought in mind, here's Bill Nagatuda.
As Americans went about their business today, took their kids back to school, resumed their routines, there was an almost universal refrain. First, defiance. We will not let terrorists dictate how we lead our lives.
If that happens, they've won. I'm not going to leave New York. I'm not going to run.
Then, reality. Some things will have to change.
Do you think that things are different from this moment on?
I definitely think things are different from this moment on.
Definitely be more aware of my surroundings and the individuals that are around me.
December 7th, 1941.
This is not the first time horrible events have changed our society. Pearl Harbor showed us how suddenly an enemy can strike. In the early 60s, we learned our leaders could be taken. In the 70s and 80s, that our jetliners could be hijacked. In the 90s, that terror can come from within. Then, this week. Do you think that this is a moment that has changed everything?
No, I think absolutely.
Dr. Harold Koplowitz is a New York City psychiatrist.
I think there are certain moments in history that make us think differently. I think that Pearl Harbor did that. I think the Holocaust did that. And this kind of evil does that to us also.
If, from this week forward, our way of thinking, our mindset has changed forever, if this was a watershed event, then how do we begin to prepare the next generation of Americans, our children, to live in a different, perhaps much less carefree world?
Just seeing so much smoke and so much flames, and these people jumping out of the Twin Towers was, I think, one of the most horrifying things that I saw all day.
15-year-old Jane Sussman was at school just 4 blocks from the World Trade Center when it was attacked on Tuesday.
Do you think that you've changed forever, having seen what you've seen?
How could I not? It was awful. I don't think, as a person viewing America, viewing other countries, I'll ever be the same.
That concerns her mother, Ruth, a criminal court judge.
I hope that the kids can get back to, having fun and just having the carefree, innocent existence that they should have at this point.
Parents just have to bring the topic up. They have to discuss it somewhat, and maybe it's in a small little bite-sized piece, maybe it's a longer conversation, but the kids have to know there's a safe place for them to discuss and get honest, true answers.
For the future, will a show of guns on the streets be the norm? How much security will we tolerate? Jeffrey Lesoff, a lawyer.
I'm sure we're going to have to give up maybe certain of our rights just to make sure that we're safe.
Susie Whiting is a mother of 7 from Utah.
When they told us today that we needed to be at the airport tomorrow 3 hours early so that they could do a security, a more intense security check, we were more than happy to say, you go for it.
So far, there's been a surge in patriotism. Military recruiting stations are seeing people walking in and saying, sign me up. Men like Dennis Martinez.
It's emotional just to think that it happened here. To see those firefighters go down like that. I want to go.
And Herbert Jones just wants a piece of the enemy, whoever that turns out to be.
Vietnam, I just feel, was my fight, or the Gulf War. But when they come to New York City, then it's everybody's fight. And once it hits home, I think every man, woman, and child should be armed and ready.
And then there is Zdenka Kalbo, one of the newest Americans, a citizen for only 5 months.
Do you worry that things are changing in this country?
No, I love this country and I will love it forever. No.
Some people may be afraid of being at America's landmarks, like the Empire State Building. She is not.
We still came today, and we wanted to go on the top of Empire State Building, to see the only one what we have left. We have no fear from that.